What is back up Instagram and YouTube? And in this video today that I'm about to be doing is going to be a fun video of something cool that I decided to get. I know it's not something like a like a performance mod. It's basically a thing to give better throttle response, and what I'm about to do is it's called a throttle body spacer. Now I wanted to test this out and see what it exactly does, because a throttle body spacer is supposed to give you a better throttle response. Most importantly, it's not for the horsepower gains. I heard from some people, they say between 1 to 3 horsepower. I don't expect to gain any horsepower out of this. Mainly what I bought this for is mainly for fun purposes, because I heard it does whistling. It does a lot of cool things. Most importantly, some people say it even saves gas on your car, like that. But anyway, without going any further, I want to show you guys the throttle body spacer. As you guys could see, we got the throttle body spacer, and the throttle body spacer is pretty thick. I believe it's a 1 inch throttle body spacer, and it includes these two gaskets that you put side by side. And basically that, and also we got a couple of screws that will, it goes, these are the hexagons screws. We're gonna have to be using these screws to the existing throttle body spacer, or remove the original bolts of the throttle body spacer. And that right there is what we're about to do. We're going to do the installation of this video, and I'll show you guys how to do this. You can basically do this on any type of car if you go follow the steps that I'm about to show you. It's not that difficult. And on the side of that, we got a pair of some instructions. Well, I don't need to read these instructions because I know what I'm doing. But anyway, it says pretty much, do not over tighten bolts. Installation spacer should take about 1 hour. Please take your time and make sure you have installed it correctly, or your vehicle is safe to drive. If you have any problems installing the spacer, blah 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 blah, YouTube or something, I know how to do this. It's not that difficult. Well, for those that never did it before, you guys could, it takes a few measures to install this. Not that difficult. But most importantly, it says to disconnect your battery, obviously, before I even touch anything on this, on the motor or anything like that, or do anything. It's best to always remove the battery for electrical and safety purposes. So right here, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna remove the negative. We could keep the positive. We don't need to remove the positive. We'll just remove the negative, so that way, once you remove the negative, you won't have any electrical, currents or anything like that, just to be on the safe side, like I said in instructions, to remove the battery off the vehicle. So that's what we are doing, ladies and gentlemen. So we removed the negative, the wire, and right there we're gonna go on to the next step. You need a flathead, obviously, to remove. Well, we're going to try to keep this, so we don't want to try to make more work or effort into it. I'm gonna see if I could keep this, or maybe if it depends on the space I have here, if I have to rearrange and probably take all of this apart and remove it. But for now, we're gonna try to just remove these two, to give space to the throttle body, so I can have clearance to remove the original spacer, the original throttle body, and remove these two clips and take these hoses apart. And yeah, I'll take this red piece out of the the car, and we'll go from there. So basically, I didn't want to remove everything apart. I left this still on. I removed this piece out, and I don't feel like I don't think it's necessary to. We'll see from there, but I think this will probably work. And now we have space towards the throttle body, and for this we need a 8mm bolt. I believe it's an 8mm bolt. Yeah, 8mm bolt, and we're gonna be removing the original nuts off the throttle body. So what I did here is I just cleaned the throttle body somewhat. It looks a little bit clean. Well, a little bit good. But yeah, I just did it for my purpose. I just cleaned it up just to make it look, just to take all that dirt off. So I couldn't record the rest of it. I was fighting a battle. It was very kind of hard to do this, because the thing is that I'm not a big fan of these hexagons, because you know how hard is it to sometimes to get, especially to get underneath there, and then most importantly right there is it's like you feel like cursing too hard. This one especially is kind of hard to get in there. This one wasn't too hard. Only the two bottom ones were difficult to do. This is a difficult thing to do on because you have to maneuver yourself and go on the, like, you know, turn, move your back. I prefer the one where you do the wrenching thing. The hexagons ones are not that good as compared to the, like, I wish you could reuse them, but you can't really reuse them, so I had to go deal with these ones for now, but I'll show you guys the next step. So the next step is basically I'm going to maneuver this around and basically just put it on and you know, put the, you know, the hoses and everything back on, and this shouldn't be too hard, but we shall see. So basically I put this on and I'm gonna be using my, where the hell did that go? Oh, there we go. We got our flathead, magical flathead. We're gonna be putting the, you know, these things, whatever I forgot the name of it. You put these back on and we should be done from there. So I managed to get everything on. It was quite difficult, but I got it. It was very tight fit because this intake is pretty huge. As you guys can see, this filter is very huge. And I got everything done, so all we have to do is just connect the negative battery. So I installed the throttle body spacer, and I'm going to give you a short clip of how it sounds. So with the, I'll do maybe a 1,000 to 4,000 RPM range of the whistling that it makes. And not just the whistling, I also tested the vehicle prior before this video. But yeah, it gives a better throttle response and it feels a little bit faster and it gives a little bit more torque, but not something too big. Maybe with a Bama tuner you'll probably find out, but we'll see from there on that afterwards. But I'm going to give you guys the shorts, the rev from 1,000 to 4,000 RPM. Maybe you guys might get the footage or maybe hear the clip of the whistling sound it makes. It's kind of like a turbo spool, but you know, I'll show you guys the rev and we'll go from there. So that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes this video. I'm sure you guys probably heard that it makes some whistling sounds and you hear a better throttle response when you're driving too, that when I drove the vehicle. And this was just a sound clip of how it sounds. You hear a little bit of a throttle response, and most importantly, this intake I have is also making the noise too, the whistling sounds. It sounds like a turbo spool. It makes noises and like, you know, it sounds cool and all that. I didn't really feel the car much faster, but it feels a little bit more of, you have a better throttle response and you have a better, like, you know, if you get quicker to the RPMs. So basically it does a little, you know, a little get up and go type of thing. And I would recommend this throttle body spacer. It's a 1-inch throttle body spacer, aluminum, and it's a pretty good throttle body spacer. As you guys could see right over here, it looks very beautiful and fantastic along with the intake that I have. And this, as you guys know, I made this video before yesterday about the HPS hoses and, you know, the coolant reservoir tank I replaced as well too from HPS. And that's right there, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of this video. This I would recommend for any type of car. You know, it doesn't even have to be a, you know, this V6 Mustang. It could be any type of other car. It could be for a 5.0. It could be for an EcoBoost. It could be for any type of car. JDM, any type of car. I would recommend this for any car. It gives a better throttle response. It makes the car get up and go a little bit more. You know, it's just a little bit of cool mod, a little cheap mod to do to your car just to have a little bit more fun on the road. I would recommend this for any car. This product is actually universal. You get this on any car, and I would recommend this for anyone who is looking for a little bit of a performance type of mod. Well, it's not really going to make your car faster, but the only thing it's going to do is going to basically push you through those RPMs and most importantly, give you a better throttle response. So that is a good thing, especially if you're trying to accelerate on the road and, you know, just trying to have fun. But yeah, that's right there, ladies and gentlemen, wraps up this video. I hope you guys like this video. Leave a comment, like, share, and do whatever you guys want. Like I always say, most importantly, have a great, fantastic rest of your day. Peace out.